Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here and I am in Tenerife. I've just woken up. We got here yesterday afternoon and I thought I'd show you around our apartment and give you a little view of our balcony, and then I'll be doing a little vlog while I'm here and telling you about some of the stuff I'm reading. Oh look, here she is. Are you enjoying your holiday so far?
Yeah.
How was your Christmas?
Good.
What did you get for Christmas?
I got some
What is this?
an iPad.
You got your own Kindle Fire, didn't you?
Yeah.
Very exciting. Okay, what are you looking forward to today?
Going to my kids.
Going to Kids Club and doing some swimming?
Yeah.
Pack it away nicely then. Mummy's just going to show everyone. So this is where me and Matilda are sleeping, just because of how beds work out. And our bathroom with a nice shower. And you come down here, you can see the lovely husband still in his bed. How are you doing? We've got a little kitchen area here with some seats, a little hangy area, and a nice TV out here. And then this is our balcony. It's quite early in the morning still, but this is our view. So down here you can see the swimming pool. It's got a nice kids pool. It's all heated, which is really nice. This is the rest of the apartments, and look at that view. What an amazing way to wake up in the morning. So let's talk about this out here then, shall we? This is Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. I read this on the plane ride on the way out here. It was a nice quickish read. It took me a few hours to read, and I really enjoyed it. We're following our main characters, Georgina and Mary. They're twins. They live on this really small island with, you know, there's not many people that live here at all. They're just about to turn 18, and the women in their family always get these sort of magical gifts before they're 18. Now they can be born with it or it can manifest itself at any point, but generally they've all got it before the age of 18. And we're just following this final few weeks up to their 18th birthday. Mary, one of the twins, has had her gift for a long time. She can float, and Georgina has no gift, and we're not sure what her gift is going to be, if she's going to get a gift. There's a bit of tension behind that. And the biggest draw to this island is this bird called Annabelle, who turns up every year and is mythologically believed to be an ancestor of the girls who turned into a bird 300 or so years ago. And all these bird heads, all these bird watchers come out one time of year when Annabelle's meant to come back and roost, and Mary and Georgina's family run a hotel which accommodates these people, and so we're seeing that as well. And it's got some really interesting messages. There's lots of LGBTQIA plus representation in here, and it read really nicely. I liked the idea. It wasn't twisty and turny for me. I kind of gathered what was going on, and the mystery behind it, and the ideas behind it, but it didn't matter. I still enjoyed reading it nonetheless. So it's, for me, it was an obvious read, so I wouldn't go into it thinking that you're going to find it groundbreaking and really mysterious and there's going to be this big twist, although some of you may find that you don't guess the twist. But I gave this a strong 4 stars, and yeah, I enjoyed it. Morning and welcome to another day. This is our second day here. It's beautiful again. We're about to go down to breakfast. And yesterday I finished Alex Approximately by Jem Bennett, and I really enjoyed this. It was a really lovely read. It was unexpected. It felt like I was reading it slowly, but I wasn't, because obviously I read it in a day. And it felt like there was more depth to it than I was expecting. The characters were well developed. And I really enjoyed it. The main premise of this is that we've got Bailey, and she moved at the very beginning of the book from Washington to California to live with her dad. Her mum and dad have separated, and she's decided she's going to live with him. Her mum's having problems with her new husband, and she just needs a change and decides that she's going to move with her dad. And we start to unravel various different things throughout the time that she's there. We also have these sort of message conversations that are going on between her and somebody else online, a boy online who she shares a passion for film with, who also lives where her dad lives, but she doesn't tell him that she's moving there. She decides she's going to sort of sleuth and find out who he is on the sly, because she's a bit nervous about meeting him in real life, even though he's constantly asking her to meet him. And she also gets a part-time job. There's new friends involved, there's another boy involved, and various other things going on in all these sort of veins. It was fairly obvious, the twist for this book, and that didn't seem to matter for me. I think the book itself and the getting there was really good and worth it, and there was some steamy moments which were really good. It was a bit of a slow burn. There wasn't this sort of insta-love with her and anybody, and I just really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the family dynamic, the backstory. There was some interesting backstory to both her and the main character in this, and I loved the place that she worked, this sort of museum, this mansion museum, and how that came about. I just thought that was really interesting, and quite a realistic look at part-time jobs when you're younger. You know, they're not all glamorous and easy and lovely with amazing people there. They can be hot and sweaty and hard work. So yeah, a really good one. So a solid 4 stars. Today I'm moving on to the next one, so I will let you know when I've read it. Hi guys, so it's later in the day, and I don't want you to think that on holiday all I do is read, but really that is all I do. I have finished My Heart Goes Bang by Kerris Stainton, and this is a book that I thought was really enjoyable. It was set in the second year of university in a UK university, which obviously I went to university in the UK, so I have experience of, and it's that time where you move out of halls and you move in with friends into a house, and you know, there's all sorts of different people with different backgrounds going through different things, relationship drama, making ends meet, having enough money to go out and drink and get your coursework done at the same time, things with family, growing up, and it's all covered in here. And it's just a really nice book of girls supporting each other and being there for each other no matter what, and you know, traversing this difficult the growth period in their lives, this becoming adults period. And yeah, it was thoroughly enjoyable and a really easy read, and so I gave it 4 stars. I couldn't give it any more than that because I did struggle for the first half of the book to get to grips with who everybody was, and their personality and how they related to each other, and I kept getting a couple of the characters mixed up, and it wasn't clear enough from the start who was who, and their sort of backstories, so it took me a while to get into that, which I found a bit frustrating. When I did, sort of halfway through, it was fine, but yeah, that sort of dropped a star for me for that, and just in general it was an easy read, so I would recommend it to people, but it's not one that I'm certainly going to be raving about for years, but a fun, enjoyable read nonetheless. So that is 3 books in 3 days, so I'm going to be starting reading another one tonight or tomorrow, and hopefully I can keep reading a book a day, which would be amazing. I'll let you know tomorrow. As you can see, the weather is nice. I'm starting to get a tan as the days go on. I finished my next book. This one took me a day and a half to read. It was Summerland by Ellen Hildebrand. I'm going to give this one 3 stars. It wasn't quite what I was hoping. It was a little bit depressing, but there was parts of hope there. It's set in Nantucket Island, and it's about a group of people that live there all year round, so not the summer people, the people that live there, and it's about different families and the children in those families. And at the very start of this book, we have a single parent family, a mother whose husband died when her twins were 7 months in her belly, so before they were even born. She's brought them up by herself. She's a chef, and the twins are a girl and a boy, and on a graduation night, not for their year but for the year above them, they're in a car. The girl twin is driving and there's two others in the car, and they have an accident and the girl dies. Her brother, the twin, is in a coma, and the other two in the car are relatively undamaged. They had their seatbelts on, and we flipped then between past and present, between what's been going on in people's lives and the secrets that people have been hiding. I felt that this was a quieter book than I expected. There wasn't any massive revelations that came out of it. You knew what was being hidden and what people didn't know before they knew it, so it wasn't like there was any twists and turns, and I just felt it felt a little bit slow. So I was a little bit disappointed in this. It was okay, but it just felt a little bit harder work than some of the others I've been reading. So a 3 stars because it was okay, but nothing that I'm going to shout about. Now I'm going to move on to the next one, and I better go because I've got to deliver stuff back down to everyone by the pool. Hi guys, so it's a few days later and we go home tomorrow. I'm feeling nice and tanned and a bit tight in my face, and I finished a couple of books. The first one is One Small Thing by Erin Watt. Now, I've heard a few mixed reviews of this one. It's got an interesting topic. The premise is that our main character's sister has been killed in a hit and run by somebody who ran her over when she was walking as a pedestrian, and it turns out that this person that has knocked her over, it was a young boy of 16 who had stolen a car and was joyriding. He subsequently went to juvenile detention for 3 years, and at the start of this book we're looking at the repercussions for this girl's sister, who is just about to become a senior. Her parents have become massively overprotective since what happened to her sister, and to the point of quite an extreme measures which are very unfair and feel unfair to her. And so in an act of rebellion at the beginning of the book, she goes to this party, she meets this guy, she loses her virginity, and it turns out to be this guy that's just been released for juvenile detention. And this sort of stems a lot of different things. We taking a look at the family, the dynamic of the family since they've lost the daughter. We're looking at this girl and how she feels, and after what happened and when she finds out about who this boy is. And really yeah, the book looks at forgiveness, and I just found that the storyline worked okay, but it had to be quite fixed in order for the outcome to be favourable, if that makes sense. And I can see what Erin Watt tried to do, and I think it was managed relatively successfully, but it just still felt a bit weird for me, and a bit strange, and there was certain aspects of it that I felt like had been put in order to make the outcome a bit more palatable. Yeah, I don't know, it was just, there's something that wasn't 100% there for me, so I ended up giving this one 3 stars. It was a fun, fast read. I enjoyed it. I felt the relationship between the two was quite yeah, it was quite good, I suppose, but you know, in terms of the romance, but I still couldn't quite get on board with the whole message completely. So 3 stars for that one. I then moved on to Here's Looking at You by Mahari McFarlane. This is the first book by this author that I read before, and I relatively enjoyed it. It was an adult contemporary sort of romance book. It's about our main character, Anna. She was horrendously bullied at school. We get, at the start of this book, there's like a talent show, and she has entered this talent show because the popular boy in school said he wanted to do it with her, and she goes on stage dressed up in this sort of horrendous outfit and is pelted with quality streets. And this is sort of the culmination of years and years of bullying for her size, of being overweight, and yeah, she is terribly and incredibly unhappy. We then flip to years later where she's in her 30s. Miraculously, you know, as if you weren't going to imagine it, she has lost weight, and yet she still carries this baggage of what happened to her. She's on this sort of online dating scene, I suppose the part of it that I quite enjoyed here was it wasn't made out like she'd lost weight and then all of her troubles went away, which I really hate in books, because you're still the same person no matter what size you are. And so she still carries this emotional scarring of what happened when she was at school. She's got a nice group of friends. She's an intelligent woman. She works for a museum, and she is relatively happy. She has a nice family life. She just can't find the right person for her. In walks at a reunion her main tormentor, this popular boy from school who convinced her to get on stage that time. He doesn't recognise who she is, and so she doesn't tell him, and various sort of things happen, and they form a friendship, obviously with her knowing and him not, and we just sort of follow it from there. And I liked this. I mean, we kind of knew where it was heading, or we thought we did, but it was slow burn. It wasn't like, oh, I fancy him and all is forgiven for what he did to me. And it wasn't like, oh, she lied to me and I didn't know that that's who she was. It was a nice slow burn, people getting to know themselves, getting to know, you know, what they want from a relationship, looking at themselves, looking at how they feel about their past, and how things can be seen from different sides, and yet, you know, no matter what you do still has this profound effect on people that can be, you know, can last for years and imprint on their lives forevermore. So I really enjoyed it for that. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was a fun story. I didn't feel the romantic element at all, in terms of feel that connection or that any chemistry, which I felt was lacking a bit, which you know, I like in my romance to feel like there is romance, so I felt like it lacked a bit of that chemistry for me, but it was a good read nonetheless, and I ended up giving it 4 stars. So quite a lot of books have been read this holiday, and now I'm moving on to yet another one. So if I finish that one, I will come back to you probably from England to let you know how I get on. But for now, I've had a really good reading week on our break, and I'm looking forward to getting home and getting stuck into some more videos, because it's 2019 today. It's the 1st of January 2019. So happy new year, and I'll speak to you in a minute. So as you can see, we're now home, and yeah, it's a bit bittersweet really. Sometimes it's nice to get home, but also we had such a lovely time. It was so relaxing, especially in terms of my reading. I can't believe how much I read. I read a whole book on the 4.5-hour flight home, which was The Longest Holiday by Paige Toon, and I really enjoyed it. It was a really solid 4 stars. I haven't got it to show you, unfortunately, so I'll put a picture of it here, because I left it at the airport for someone else to pick up and enjoy. And it was good. It was about a girl. She goes on this holiday to Miami with 2 of her friends, and we find out from the offset that the reason that she's gone has because she's married. She's not been married that long, but she has discovered that on his stag do, her husband slept with someone in a nightclub, and it turns out that that woman is now pregnant, 7 months pregnant in fact, and so her life is unraveling and she doesn't know what she's going to do. So she goes off on this holiday with her friends, and they have a nice time. She meets this man she's intrigued by, she starts to feel something for, and it's really just following her coming to terms with what's happened, making that decision whether she's going to forgive and try again, whether there's something different for her now, how her life is changing, how other people feel about that, and I thought it was really well handled. I thought it was really good. There was elements of it which were slightly far-fetched, but yeah, I just thought it was a really nice fun summer read, and yeah, it was just an easy read, and as I say, I didn't put it down. I read it the whole way home on the plane, which was a really nice way to spend a plane journey, if I'm honest. Sometimes plane journeys can feel really long and laggy, and this one didn't. It was a really nice way to spend it, so I'm pleased with that. So this is the end of talking about the books that I've read on holiday and my holiday, and keep your eyes peeled because there'll be more videos coming up now I'm back. I'm going to be filming my January TBR and my biannual bibliothon TBR, and a massive Christmas book haul, because I was so lucky. I got given so many books this Christmas. My husband really took on board that I would like books for Christmas thing and just, yeah, went wild. So I will show you the books that I got as well. So this is it for me for this vlog, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now, BookTube.